Area residents are choosing an innovative and quiet wind turbine as a tasteful alternative to traditional styles.
It's an elegantly engineered, I think it's elegant looking, it's unobtrusive in the distance. It has been considered modern kinetic art by some. I don't quite go that far, but it certainly doesn't detract from the appearance of your property.
Paul recently installed 2 of these vertical axis wind turbines on the windward side of Fred and Marilyn Howell's home in Pleasant Valley. Fred got on a waiting list back in 2008 after reading about Mariah Windspires and how they were designed in Reno.
So far we think that they are going to be a welcome addition to our place. Yeah, we like the idea of what they do, and we like the appearance. We're not put off by the appearance at all. We like it.
Howell started talking up the Windspires in his neighborhood. 2 of his neighbors installed them too. Paul says the Windspires can go up in residential areas where other wind turbines may not fit because they're shorter and thinner. He put these up in about a half a day.
The constraints are mostly setbacks. Each municipality, the county, Sparks, Reno, Carson City, all have different setback requirements. And they're usually around 30 feet, depends on where you go. So that's the biggest problem. The next problem is there enough room to lay the Windspire down? Because we assemble it on a hinge on the ground and then we lift it up into the air.
The state legislature passed a law making it illegal for homeowners associations to ban homeowners from using alternative energy sources. Fred got a tax credit and an NV energy rebate, which covered about half the cost of installing these Windspires. He's hoping to cut his energy bills from 25% to 50%. His wife Marilyn tracks the energy generated through a special program on her computer.
And the nice thing is, even on hot days, we get wind starting around noon or a little before, and it will go for about 6 hours.
Marilyn, a third-generation Nevadan, comes from a line of energy suppliers. Her grandfather began a coal and wood business that eventually became a heating oil company.
The whole idea for the Windspire really started with a super efficient generator, which lives in the housing in that hub that you can see right there. And generator is what generates the electricity. And it was founded by a couple guys who were based in Reno. And so they went to a meeting to try and get some funding so they could market it, and they ran into Mike Hess, who's our CEO, and he said, "I love your product, great technology, I'm going to be your CEO, we'll take it to market." And that was in 2005. So they worked for a couple years on the plan. They did a prototype, they put it up, it didn't work. They took it down. By then the company was about 5 people. They all sat in a room and they said, "We can fix this in 30 days or we're closing the doors." And 30 days later they'd come up with a new design, and that's what you see here is the Windspire. It's, they changed the style of the rotor to be much more efficient.
It took an entrepreneurial spirit and tenacity to develop the Windspires in Reno.
I wouldn't consider myself a big green person, but I do think that we're at a place where we have to look at all our resources, not just the ones we've used in the past. And so I would say that's the big reason.
The Windspires are manufactured in Michigan at a former auto factory. The company was able to re-employ 30 workers who were laid off. Amy says the Windspires are now selling internationally. Here at home, they're cropping up in pockets like this Washoe Valley neighborhood. It's so cool to see all of these Windspires from one vantage point here. Soon there'll be Windspires at a new lodge that is being built at Slide Mountain, and the city plans to put them in at Rosebud Lakes Golf Course. As you probably suspected, the name of the company came from the song "And They Call the Wind Mariah." You can find out more about the company and the product by going to mariahpower.com.